Rob Gronkowski is now in the news. Well, it appears that he's in the news because, in my opinion, where there's smoke, there's fire. NFL.com had this to say: Pats haven't had Rob Gronkowski trade talks. Uh-oh. So here's in chronological order what happened. After the Super Bowl, Rob Gronkowski at a press conference talking to the media. He was asked about what will be upcoming in his career, in or outside of football, and here was his answer.
Well, there was a report before the game that you could potentially retire. Is there any accuracy to that?
I don't know how you heard that, but I mean, I'm definitely going to look at my future for sure. We'll sit down the next couple of weeks and see where I'm at.
It just seemed like he was totally thrown off by the question. His answer is either going to be like, yeah, I'm not sure what you're saying, or it's going to be like, Gronk! Like, that's what I mean.
Like hot dog vendors.
How does he sound?
I have no clue. But I think
stop the presses. What does the hot dog vendor sound like?
I'm not gonna do it. My throat hurts. Like? I don't know how these guys do it so often.
Have some tea. What does he sound like?
Oh man. Hot dog!
So here's what's going on. Lingering frustrations remain between Gronk and Belichick, along with others in the organization, according to sources. Whether those frustrations on either side will impact Gronk's return to the team remains the final piece to this unfinished puzzle. I've never finished a puzzle in my life, by the way.
What?
For Belichick, seriously, for Belichick, since the season's end, sources say he has expressed frustration with those close to him about Gronk, specifically questioning whether he remains all in, a critical aspect of Belichick's blueprint for success. If there's one thing I know about Gronk in football, you know what he is? All in. So here's what he put out on Instagram. When Danny Amendola was traded, most notably he said, stay lit, which is the most Gronk thing to say.
Very.
And then be free, be happy. Now, some people are looking into it. I'm not. I think it's just like Gronk being somewhat philosophical and like, hey, I had a connection with you. I really hope that you have a great time, with your future endeavors and what have you. So I guess my question is, if you're Gronk, what do? Do you get away from the Grim Reaper that is Bill Belichick, or do you be like, hey, like I think I'm cool here. I got Brady for another 2 years, and then I'll hang it up.
That's exactly what you do. You stay in New England, you play with Brady for the next 2 years, and then you can throw the towel in and switch teams. But it doesn't make sense for him to leave. The chemistry that him and Brady have is, and I'm sure you'll agree, is one that's, I'm not even a Patriots fan.
Don't agree.
You don't?
I'm just kidding.
The chemistry that these two have is remarkable. Like he's so reliable with any Brady pass. He's a tall guy. He can go low. He can
do everything.
He can do everything. So it doesn't make sense for him. If it's just Belichick being Belichick, or it could just be the media creating a story. Belichick probably doesn't feel that way about Gronk, and he wants him to stay for another 2 years, and he's not even considering trading him or isn't even thinking this guy isn't all in. Or he doesn't have the right mindset. It could just be the media creating the story. I don't think that if I'm Gronk, I'm not going to leave New England.
There was a former player who was close to Gronk that spoke with TMZ as well today, and here's what he said on the entire situation with Gronk in New England.
Those are all rumors. I don't think there's any validity to those rumors, but I do know this from playing with Bill Belichick. He will trade you. He will trade you if he feels like, you know what, it's time to move on from this player. I definitely think he's frustrated with the money that he gets when you look at what he does. I mean, he should be getting paid the same amount of money as guys like Antonio Brown, in my opinion, because he's more valuable to me than a guy like Antonio Brown, who's a great wide receiver. But when you look what Gronk can do, he should be getting paid $15, $16 million a year. The NFL has never seen anything like
him was the end. Sorry, I cut that off a little early. Yes, I agree with everything that he said. Brandon Cooks, Richard Seymour, Chandler Jones are 3 examples of players that we thought were like in their prime, were destined for greatness, and Bill Belichick traded their ass in order to build through the draft. Would it shock me at all if he traded anybody on the roster not named Tom Brady? No. He is an insane, obsessive, maniacal, great head coach, and also GM who thinks way ahead of every other team.
I don't think that's crossing Belichick's mind right now. I don't think that it's a situation where Cooks was, for example. It's not.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. And if it does happen, I don't know.
If they get any sort of great return for a guy who, let's be honest, has a long injury history like Gronk, we'll do it. Anybody not named Tom Brady.
He's even gone past the injuries, though. You don't think so?
Well, I mean, as of right now, yeah, but all it takes is another one awkward hit to his back in order to have another back injury, or a low hit to re-tear his ACL. Like he's had, and a concussion. He's had many, many injuries. That's why he thought about, and I truly do believe this, thought about hanging it up, because he's gonna strike while the iron's hot. He's still super young. He has a lot going for him with the Gronk cruise and his entrepreneurship. If he wanted to go to the WWE, he could.
Yeah,
and
he'd be successful.
So much money.
He'd be very successful.
He'll be successful in absolutely anything he does. We just hope he stays in football. Let us know your thoughts. YouTube.com/TYT Sports.